Hi everybody, welcome back. It's after Christmas and almost New Year's Day. I hope everybody's enjoyed their holidays so far. You've been safe and healthy. Looking forward to 2021. Hopefully we can put all the craziness of 2020 behind us. But first of all, I just want to wish everybody who tunes into this channel a happy, healthy, and prosperous 2021 to you and your families. I hope everybody does well this coming year. With that, let's move on to the subject in front of you, which is the Meng FT-17. For some of you, you'll remember, I don't know, earlier this year, I attempted to build a very similar kit. It was the octagonal turret, not the round casted one, but I had some fit issues. Well, those fit issues didn't go away, even with a new kit. You can see here that the walls don't match up. And I think a big piece of that is because of the engine. And I even believe that the radiator that is in there attached to the engine is a little bit too high. But when I test fitted everything, it seemed like it was going into the right place. So I'm a little disappointed with the way this is turning out again. And let me grab my little pointing stick. Where is it? There it is. So you can see here, right, there's a gap. This wall is actually somewhat bowed out. And I think that's mostly because of the engine and the transmission covers that are actually down here that would, if this was the actual real tank, right, would connect up to here when the tracks go on. So you can also see here, this is where the radiator is just a little bit too high and it's sitting up. The turret actually went together pretty well. I'm going to do it with the open door so that, well, at least I'm hoping if I can actually correct this a little bit, and I'll get into that in a minute. This is where the driver would be coming down for the diorama, and the nurse is steadying his back as he's stepping down out of here onto the tracks and getting onto the ground. Here's the interior a little bit, though, you know, once this is all buttoned up, you really don't see much of it anymore. Something I thought was actually kind of interesting, after I got kind of frustrated with the way this looked, I started looking back at some of the other more experienced builders out there who have put this particular tank together, and none of them, except for Gav is the only one, sorry I hit the camera, Gav is the only one who's actually put this tank together with the engine in it, and he had the same problems. All the other model builders, there's like Harry Houdini models, did this model, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, whatever it was. He didn't put the engine in it, so everything fit perfectly. So the trick to this build is don't build the engine and don't put it in. But I think I might have a solution to figure this out. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. But before I do that, what I wanted to do was just here's the turret. with the gun inside, the ammo rack in there, the little sling for the commander and gunner, commander slash gunner to sit on. Okay, help steady himself. Unfortunately, once this is really, you know, kind of put together, unless you shine a light in there, you're not going to see this detail. But also, because I could, if you can see it down there at the bottom, let's see here. So, yeah, you can kind of see I put some shell casings down on the bottom. I just thought added a little taste to it. So anyway, so actually my Instagram account, I threw up some photos of this, and somebody actually suggested clamping the sides and stuff together. So I may actually try that, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna get enough play to push this stuff together enough so that I can actually kind of super glue this down, if that makes sense, or even this part of it. I actually have a big ass clamp. Essentially my thought was just to kind of do that with it, but I'm also worried that the clamp is going to crush the model, but we'll see what happens. So I'm going to try it. This will be a 2-part video with me attempting to clamp and glue this thing closed. If not, I may have to run some milliput through some of this stuff, especially here where there's gaps, and then a little bit into here and in here. And I was going to do, just for the sake of it, I was actually going to do the engine open like that, right, with the flap open so you could actually see it. And then I was going to put some bullet holes because the side armor was relatively thin and these tanks could get knocked out essentially from machine gun fire. So what I thought I'd do is I'll punch some holes into this compartment area so it'll look like both the driver and the commander were wounded, and essentially that's what the figures that I showed you in the last video would depict. So there's that. Here's the running gear. If you ever put this kit together, putting these pieces together here, get my fat finger out of the way, these pieces together here is a royal pain in the ass, because there's one piece of plastic, or in some cases maybe two, if you can see it here, that just kind of holds this whole assembly together, and there's not a whole lot to glue together to make this thing stay together. So the running gear, while this moves this way, the wheels will not move. You know, plus it's a diorama, so you know, I'm not gonna be playing with the tank, so I don't really care too much about that. But that stuff works, that spins, you know. This actually pushes down, right? So there's that one, and then the other one went together pretty much the same way. Excuse me. And the tracks are actually went together fairly well. They just, obviously I haven't painted these things yet or anything, but essentially they go together nice and easily. So we'll see what happens. Again, this will be a 2-part video. I'm gonna go try to super glue this thing together, and we'll see what happens with it. Oh, again, I'll be back in a little bit. It'll probably be like a day before you see me again, but for you guys, it'll be half a second. Talk to y'all real soon. See, told you that wouldn't take too long. Really, it was 24 hours later when I shot the first part of the video to now. But, so I ended up clamping the hull and the walls together, and it worked. Excuse me. Other than, got my pointing stick again. I think at this point I'd be prepared, but I'm not. Other than this one section here, which I ended up filling with some of the Tamiya plastic putty. So there's that. And then this small section back here, I ended up filling a little bit. And then this section. So I was actually able to get the top and the sides to meet up using the clamps. So far, it's holding together, so that's a good thing. It hasn't sprung apart like a big spring, anything like that. And now we're ready for painting. So I'm going to go and start masking off this stuff so that I can paint the outside, mask this off, and mask this off so I don't get anything inside there when I go paint the exterior. Since these are going to end up being open, so this will end up looking like this when I'm done with it. And then this piece will be like that. I am going to paint the exterior of this separately so that I can actually get at least a base coat on it of what the actual tank color will be. And then we're going to go from there. So far so good. Seems like we've averted a disaster and me getting 100% frustrated and tossing this thing in the bin. So off to painting now. And thank you to everybody who has followed along all year and previous years on my channel. Thank you to all my new subscribers and everything. I do appreciate it. And I do appreciate conversations and friendships that have developed over the years with many of you. And everybody, your work inspires me. I enjoy watching everything that you guys do, all the work that you put into your hobby, and just keep up the good work. And like I had said earlier, I wish you all a safe, healthy, prosperous 2021. And I'll talk to you all real soon. Bye.